What is up, A team? Welcome back. Awesome. Hope everyone's having an awesome day, or not, depending on where you're at, but hope it's awesome. And yes, we're back at it today to talk more about some crypto, to talk more about where the markets are at. A lot of things have actually came out over the weekends and doing phenomenal, right? We have the announcement where the SEC was going to be approving a potential ETF coming out here, looking really good. I mean, went up all the way up to 235. The markets have come down just slightly today, but again, I think there's a lot of positivity out there, a lot more discussion around the recession, a lot of articles coming out about a recession and all these kind of crazy things and where the markets are at. However, there's a lot of things out here showing that we're actually at prime time to be buying, prime time for the markets to actually do well. And again, it's up to you to decide what's best for you, what you think is best for yourself. Again, I'm just here to talk about the news. I'm here to talk about things that are standing out to me on why I think the markets and where we're at is actually in a good spot. But again, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert at any of this. I'm just here to have fun and talk about crypto. So with all that, I want to say what's up to Terry, Kevin, Dark Helmet. What's up, man? XRP Bandit. I've got Billion Right in the house here. Billion Right, thanks so much for the $5 super chat here. Austin, I'm up hella big on my bags. If it weren't for you, I would have panicked sold months ago. Instead, I panic bought. Dude, you're awesome. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat there, and appreciate your kind words, buddy. And good to see you back here. As always, you jumping back in here on a member of 3 months. Couldn't be more appreciative of that, Billion Right. So thank you so much. We got Moto in the house here. What's up, buddy? You got Jimmy in the house. RPM. Appreciate you. Regina, what's up, Regina? Hopium days. Seiko, huh? What's up, Seiko? Good to see you, buddy. You got Ed D in the house here. Richard, good to see everyone. I'm scrolling fast, so if I miss some of you, I'm sorry. Michael, what's up, man? We're going fast. Pipeline's in the house here, too. Good to see you, Pipeline. Toolbox, what's up, bud? Deb's in the house. Dangerous Dave, what's up, Dangerous Dave? Kenny G, Watchman, R Lake. So yeah, sorry if I missed some of you guys. I'll catch you through the chat though. Decrypto, what's up, man? All right, let's jump into it. Chipper today. Heck yeah, dude. We're ready to rock and roll. I had a great weekend. My daughters won the Washington State Cup for soccer finals for the G16. So they're the best G16, which is girls under, which is the G16 2016, so under 9. So the U9 girls, they're one of the best U9 girls in the state. They went out there, they put it to the test, and they won the championships. And I couldn't be more happy as a father. And so I'm on cloud 9 because all that work and time went into having the best soccer team in the state of Washington for the U9. So super pumped about that and couldn't be more excited. So I actually thought one day he dyes his beard. You think one day I'm gonna dye my beard? Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. My beard's looking pretty good. All right. Yeah, no, appreciate that. Yeah, congrats. No, I was super excited about it. I was super excited about that. Yeah, they killed it, man. They killed it. So very, very pumped about that. But let's jump into it here. As you can see, the cryptocurrency market is down just slightly, dude. We're still at 2.94, about 1.1% down. Not really looking that bad. If you look over the 7-day chart here, we're still looking pretty good. I mean, XRP sitting at that 227, again, up 10%. This is on the cusp of that ETF discussion that's being had out there. Bitcoin still looking good, even though it lost the 94,000 range, still looking pretty damn good. Overall, I feel positive with where the market's at. Hedera's back up to almost 19 cents here. This was hovering around 21 cents at one point yesterday or into tonight. So yeah, things are looking good there. The stock market looking a little bit of a bust right now. You can see that the Dow's back down about 140 points. You got the S&P 500 back down about 42 points, and NASDAQ over 207. Again, this has we have the tech earnings coming out here, which is something that we should be considering, something to look at. Oh, the beard looks mighty. I appreciate that. Yeah. The beard's looking good. I like the beard. I've been trying to keep up with it. So, but that's where we're at right now. You can see right here that they are talking about this falling because investors wait to trade deals. They did come out and say actually that there's a potential for a U.S.-India trade right here, which would be huge for just everything going on here. I think we saw this with India. They're trying to really take out China in terms of the labor markets and stuff like that. And if this deal actually happens, this would be really, really big for the markets. Probably one of the biggest things for the markets we've seen this year. I'm going to be honest. I mean, this is probably a big deal here. So I'm actually kind of excited to see if this actually falls through this or comes through this week. This would be really, really good. So Treasury Secretary Bassett says India might be the first trade deal we'll sign, which again would be huge. And if you don't know, India and China absolutely hate each other. So of course, India is going to come in here and probably try to strike a deal. And they're probably going to prosper from that deal being made. Just my opinion, but that's kind of cool to see. Another really good news coming out here is that Standard Chartered says Bitcoin will hit all-time highs in Q2. Right here, you can see right here that the 1.1 trillion asset manager Standard Chartered has predicted that Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high in Q2, which means it's going to be this quarter right now. It says that the firm cryptocurrency could target about 120,000 mark amid the recent performance. So the question is do you think that Bitcoin is actually going to hit an all-time high up to the 120,000 mark? If I go back and I actually look at where we've had Bitcoin before, you can see that my excitement is right around the 130. I mean, 130 was kind of my trigger point. They're at 120. And they're saying Q2. I'm saying it's 130 by at least the end of Q3. So they're actually a little bit ahead of me, but they could be Q2, Q3 where we start to really trigger this out or, go up into this nice little trend here. And if you're looking at the day chart here, the day chart's starting to come back down. But again, I just want to say that the weekly chart is where we want to be looking at here. The weekly chart is going to tell us a lot about where Bitcoin's going. And you can see right here that we are back above this 50% mark right now. Now this is where we got to watch, because what we want to get to is this 80% mark right here on the RSI. And I think if we can get up to this 80%, we're on for the races. You know what I mean? So this is going to be the challenge. Last time we had a rejection here. We did have another rejection here at the 50 and came back down. So the big question is are we going to be able to have pass through this, or are we going to have another rejection at the 50 and come back down? And the hope is that we continue to trend upward at least, which would give us that nice little rally into at least the 110, maybe even make that, that all-time high again. So that's kind of where I'm looking at when it comes to the Bitcoin side of it. So what's up, Tony? Good to see you, Tony Punch in the house here. We got Kat, Tim Shea. We got the Bear Crypto in the house here. We got Trent. What's up, Trent? Good to see you, buddy. Outdoor Nature Show. Hit that like button. Appreciate you, man. Petro Pro. What's up, man? From Boise, Idaho. Yeah. F Joe, you should shave the beard and donate to Harry's. F Joe. Yeah. Hey, awesome fam. Late for the class. No, you're good. You're good, bro. H bar keeps getting rejected at 20 cents. Yeah, it's got rejected a couple times there. And they're if you go back and look at the RSI right now on the day chart, they've actually had they had like the death cross on the day chart. I'm not really sweating it, because really I think where the markets are going is looking good to me, even though we are on the everyone talking about they're going to be a potential recession, right? I mean, when you start to look at this is one thing here. U.S. consumers are getting even more pessimistic about the stock market. So you can actually see right here, this is on my thumbnail here. This is actually something you should be really paying attention to right now. If out of anything that you take today, just pay attention to this chart right here. And what this really is right here, this is the probability of an increase in the stocks next year. So this is the University of Michigan's report that comes out here showing where the sentiment is in the markets. And it says a record 12% of Americans see no chance the stock market will increase over the next 12 months, according to the University of Michigan survey. It says this percentage has tripled over the last 2 months. It also surpassed previous peaks seen near 2022, 2009, and 2022 market bottoms. It says, furthermore, 44.5% of consumers expect stock market to decline over the next 12 months. So basically 50% of 50% of the globe is expecting us to see an actual decline in the markets over the next 12 months. But it says the highest share since 2022. Well, if we actually go and look at these charts here, one thing I love about these charts is that you can actually trend it with the S&P 500. So here's the S&P 500, and if you don't know, Bitcoin and a lot of crypto actually runs very similar to the S&P 500. We can actually go and look at the dominance charts and see that that's what happens. They match up very, very well. So what does this tell us? Well, you can see right here, this is back in 2002. You can see this mark right here. Well, we hit a peak right here in the survey, and we were actually at a bottom right here. We actually went all the way back up to here. So there's anytime we see these peaks right here, we actually trend up. Here's another one back in 2008, 2009. We hit a bottom right here. Highest we've seen in terms of percentage for the survey here, but we rallied out of this thing, rallied all the way back up until boom, we came up to here. We had another peak, which was again the bottom here in 2022. We started to see a couple peaks, 1, 2, 3. So the bottom was right here, 1 and 2. So you can see anytime that we actually have high, this is where I laugh at this, because they're saying that like, oh, we have all this negative news out here. We have all these peaks, and we have basically a record people saying that there's going to be no chance of the stock market going up. However, when that happens, we're actually at the bottom of the market. So that's what you got to pay attention to. So when all this negative news is coming out to you, when all this negative news about the market falling, recession coming in, people are pessimistic about the market, that's when the market bottom is in. And what I'm trying to tell you is that right now could potentially be the bottom of the market. Do I know if it's exactly the bottom of the market? No. But all indicators are telling us that we're probably close to the bottom of this market right now. Because again, when these are highest at their highest points, we're going to actually see a bottom here. So, and we're going to have another red dot right here is basically what I'm saying here. This thing comes up, we see a nice little decline here. You see another one right here. Anytime we hit these highs, we have these lows in the markets. So this could have potentially been a low here. We rallied out of it. We came back down. We're going to see another little dot right here probably and rally out of this one. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, is that whenever you have this negative news in the markets, we probably hit the bottom. And that's probably where we're at right now. But teach your own, right? Take it for what it is. I'm just showing you the data. Tim Shea coming in with a 27-month membership to A-Team. Dude, Tim Shea coming in hot with that. Appreciate your 27 months of love and being a part of the A-Team, man. Very appreciative of you, Tim, as always holding it down for me in the chat. And always the mayor of crypto here. Hey, Austin, good to see you on another live. You too, Crypto Navigator. 808 Mimi's in the house here. Moist Mike, what's up, guys? Good to see you guys. Yo, what's up, Devin? Looking good, Austin. Appreciate you, Jake. Thanks for everyone being here today. Yeah, Double D's in the house here. Benjamin Carter, thanks so much for the $2 super chat here. Missed the SUI before launch. Where would you hop in now? We can take a look at the SUI. I haven't actually looked at SUI since I bought at the 150 mark, and I actually came back down. I told you guys I bought back down over here. It was around like the 170 marker. Right around here. It was like the 170. I got to look at my Coinbase. It was like 170, 180, somewhere in this ballpark. And this thing bounced back so nicely, dude. The one thing is that you could look at this on the weekly chart here and say we could come back down into the twos. There could be a nice little fall back into here. Some people are thinking that. You can look at the weekly chart here. However, if you look at the day chart, right, we're definitely over purchased. So there could be some levels coming down here. You can see the EMAs are coming right here about the 280 marker for the moving averages here. So you could say, if I were trying to enter into here, I'd put an aggressive move of like $2.80, maybe $2.75 at the bottom of this one. And, if it goes back down to here, like that's where you're going to have to DCA. But I'd probably take knowing that where the averages are right here, it could have a potential for this to come back down and hit right here. Again, it might come back down to only retrace back down to the $3 area, but it could retrace back down to $2.75. You could put 2 orders in and see if they hit for you. But that's kind of the entry points I'd go back in, knowing that this could have potential to come back down. But you never know what's going to happen in the markets. Like I said, anytime you think that the bottom's in, usually that's whenever the news is coming out where it's very, people are very pessimistic in the market. A lot of articles are coming out saying recession's coming in. I mean, like right here, S&P 500 declines as big tech earnings fall. Investors await trade deals. You got all this negative news out here, but I just showed you in that survey that things are looking good. And another thing I wanted to point out here too is this right here: investors' asset allocations and U.S. Sentiment with bullish and bearish. Right now, we're at a very bearish sentiment in the market. Look at this right here. Let me get Benjamin Carter's things out of here. So last time we were this low was back in 2022 at the bottom of a bear market. You can see right here, very, very negative news. Last time we were down here in the 2008, 2010. So we're in the negative, the negative 34 points. So right here, negative 30 points, near the lowest since the 2022 bear market low. It says this marks a 50+ point decline over the last few weeks. So this is basically telling us that we are at almost an all-time low for bullish bearish readings in the market. But what's crazy about this is that this black line right here is actually people that are holding their stock. You can see, look at massive sell-off right here. Massive sell-off right here. But somehow, some way, even with all this negative news right here and all this basically this bearish reading, like no one's really sold off the market. Everyone's actually still holding and allocating assets right now. So allocations have barely dropped right here. You can see the writing. So again, like just take this for what it is. But I mean, if people are trying to scare you out of the market, like all the data is showing that we're already there, guys. We're already there. We're working out of. We're already working up. We're working up and out. And I don't know where the next levels are going to go. So that's kind of how I'm reading it. That's kind of where I'm at. And so again, I just, like I've said, I'll always say, dude, if you have room to allocate more, allocate more. I'll never say I go buy the dip. I'm just going to say, if you have time to accumulate, just accumulate, allocate those funds, put money toward, allocate the funds, accumulate as much as possible and go that route. That's the best thing you could do. Hello, how come on my Pure Wall XRP shows $2.19? Good question. It could be the market maker that they're working with. I don't know why it's showing $2.19 on there. Might have to refresh it. Sometimes you got to restart it, bro. Something like that. Seriously, your beard looks as good as my sister-in-law's. Oh my God, that's funny, John. That's funny, dude. I love it. Well, see what's happening, but playing the game. Oh, dude, if I were a giant, well, I'd play the game too. Generations who got a degree in underwater basketball even believing that it was a social phenomenon and wonder what job to get with that deep education. Yeah. I mean, hindsight 2020, I probably, got my bachelor's, my master's. Would I go back and spend money on school again? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if I would. I'd probably do something different for sure, but I don't know. Like, it wasn't worth it. It was worth it because, I mean, obviously I got really good paying jobs. I worked in the corporate sector. Looking back, it probably wasn't a bad choice, but I mean, I don't know if I want my kids to do it. You know what I mean? It's up to them. I got £5 to invest in all the alts, thinking either AVAX or Ondo. I'm probably going to stick with Ondo, bro. A dieback though, I like Ondo, man. I'm 29 days into a free membership. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Almost pulled the trigger on Sui Dip. Hindsight is always 20. Oh yeah, Michael, I'm with you, dude. Hindsight is always 20. It's a lot easier to sit back and say, well, yeah, I was going to. It is a tough thing sometimes. 3 a.m. here in Australia, can't sleep. Too excited about the week ahead. Hell yeah, Dangerous Day. Appreciate you being here, man. 3 a.m., dude. That's tough. I hope you get some shut eye somewhere. It's your best eye. Dangerous Dave is eat. I can't say that. Is that eat? I can't say. What's that word? Buys and FOMO have to outpace the criminal manipulation. Do you think there's a criminal manipulation with this? I don't think so. I mean, well, there's people out there playing the game for sure, but I mean, like in terms of like insider trading with the feds, I don't know. Probably could be. Have a smart dog. He owns 50 XRP. Nah, that's awesome. Petro Pro, thanks so much. Petro Pro, thanks so much for the $5 super chat here. When do you think no tax on U.S. crypto will be announced? Dude, probably by August. So there was a article that came out showing that there was a deadline right here. Congress struggles to meet Trump's August deadline for U.S. crypto regulation. So I think when this actually happens, Petra Pro, when we get some regulation out there, I think that's when we're really going to get served up the no tax on the U.S. Crypto. But I think there has to be some kind of legislation, there definitely has to be some kind of regulation out here before we just start throwing things to the wind. You know what I mean? It says the cryptocurrency urges intervention from the Trump's crypto czar as legal battles over developers' accountability heat up. Lawmakers return to Capitol Hill after a 2-week recess. Crypto legislation is at the top of their agenda. With just 3 months left before President Trump's August deadline, Congress has a lot of work ahead to craft the laws and to define the future of digital assets here in America. And so I think when that happens, we'll probably see that. And so August, maybe, like I said, going into Q4 would be huge, right? We already know that Q4 is probably going to be a major bounce back for a lot of us. So I'd probably say Q4, bro, if I had to put it on the table. I don't believe for a second that there will be no tax on crypto. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how it plays out. MJ, it's so tough to say. Somo Fudd, what's up, buddy? Somo. We got Steve Sell coming here with the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, man. If you had to choose between buying ADA or Ondo for a long-term investment, which one would you think? I'm probably going Ondo, bro. I like ADA, but it's just not on my top of my list of things. Very, very slow mover. I think Ondo, with the real world assets and what they're trying to do and who they're trying to work with, I think they have a lot more going for them. Plus, Ondo is not inside the top. If you go back and look at where Ondo's at, ADA is kind of like topped out, right? When you're looking at where they're at in terms of assets, I mean, Ondo still has a lot of room to grow. I mean, they're sitting at a $3 billion market cap, ranked number 33 overall. We already know that they have an all-time high sitting around $2 right now. I mean, so you can easily probably at least, go up 100% on your investment. I mean, even right now, if you purchased $1,000 right now, we have seen that this can go to $2. So the chance of this getting back up there is probably pretty high, being that this is a fairly new project. I mean, it's still only up 494% all time, right? That's not that. I mean, up it's a 5x all time. And you go back and you look at some of these, like we'll just go back and look at like Cardano, for instance. Cardano, again, sitting here around a $24 billion market cap. Like if Ondo were to get anywhere near, Cardano, I mean, you're sitting at what is that? You're sitting at a 12x if it were to get anywhere near a market cap of ADA. So I guess for me, like the play for me would be Ondo. The play for me would be Ondo over ADA any day of the week, dude. That's just me personally looking at it. Bigger bang for your buck. So hopefully that answered your question. Bro, you came up with the prank call to Shore. I said, nah, not Austin. Dude, that was pretty funny, actually. Shador. Dude, like I was hoping the Seahawks were going to pick him so bad, dude. I don't know why. I wanted him so bad on the Seahawks. I'm still here, bro. Still supporting. Black Ranger, what's up, buddy? What's up, Kyle? Good to see you, man. I got a small medium bag of Ondo and Axel and a bag of Asui. Nice, man. Trent. That's good. That's good. Can we take a deeper look at H bar? Yeah, we'll definitely take. I'll definitely jump into H bar, Sammy. Did you make professional connections in school? Not like professional that like anyone out there. I mean, like, you know, when I think about it, no, I didn't make a lot of professional connections at school, dude. The professional connections I made were actually through my internships. I mean, I guess you could say that probably worked out. But yeah, it was mostly, I guess, yeah, maybe, you know, maybe. You know, the head of Washington OSHA right now is the guy that he was my mentor during my internships, and then I still talk to him today. So I mean, I guess yeah, you could probably say that there's some connections made. Now thinking about it, just small ones. You can become a professional hobby horse rider. Singing mammograms. I'd rather learn Python than go to school if I had the opportunity to do so. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go to school. I'd probably like. If I had to go back, I don't know what I would do. Honestly, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know if I'd do school. Seiko coming in hot, dude. I love these membership, dude. 31-month membership. Gosh, dang, Seiko coming in hot. 31 months, man. Seiko, I appreciate you a ton, man. Thanks so much for being one of the longest term members here. You guys, like, we got Tim, we got Seiko, we got a lot of people who've been with the 18 for a long time. 31 months, man. That's almost 3 years with the 18, bro. Could be more appreciative of you and everything. So thank you so much. And then he comes in hot. Seiko coming in hot again to gifting 20 memberships to the A team. If Seiko gifted you a membership, please say thank you to Seiko. And make sure you give make sure you say thank you. And then make sure you guys get into the Discord if you can. And those 20 new members, welcome to the A team. Appreciate you guys so much, man. You're freaking awesome. I love that, you know, again, I didn't stream for a couple days. This whole weekend was like, I was going to jump on, but we were leaving at like 5. I left at like 6 a.m. one morning. We left at 9 a.m. the next morning. It was like crazy weekend. So sorry, man. I was just on a roll. Two games a day. Yeah, it was crazy. All in one coming in hot with the $2, dude. ZBCN. What do you think, Austin? I gotta look into ZBCN. A few people have listed it on there. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's probably some like newly launched crypto. Maybe I could be wrong. ZBCN. Oh, the Zbeck network. I've never even heard of that, dude. I never even heard of that. You might have to tell me some more about it. But again, appreciate the $2 super chat. ADA will pump like crazy, but it will be way after the others. And ISO pump. I'm with you, Trent. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm not saying that ADA is bad. I think ADA is going to do its thing. It's always been a super slow mover to me, and it's not sexy enough for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ondo is way more sexier for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, peace. Yeah, dude. Bought myself a small bag of Zbeck. Oh, nice. So some of you guys actually have some Zbeck. Okay. You still hold Phoenix? I do. I didn't sell it, dude. I still hold Andrew. I'm bullish on XRP and HBAR, but what other coins are worth investing? I mean, we were just talking about, you know, Ondo is a good one. I think Ondo has a good shot at doing very well. You know, we can go down the list of the ones that, you know, I think are nice. Like, you know, if we're trying to get more, obviously the further we get down here, the riskier it is, right? But I've told you guys, I mean, like Uniswap's always been big to me. You know, Jupiter's been big to me. Ondo's good for me. There's a lot of these cryptos out here, you know, that I think are going to do well. Where's the other one here? I mean, I'm not going to get into the meme coin side, but yeah, Jupiter is another one here. Radium's one. Any decentralized crypto, I really, really like, you know. So any, you know, Chainlink's a good one. I think has a good shot. Sui. There's a bunch of these out here. I mean, I think Litecoin will always do well. It's a little bit, you know, some people might think that's not that big of a jump. You know, we go down here. Another one that I'm in is Flare. Flare's another one that I like, but that, you know, it's a lot more volatile than a lot of others. So, you know, you got to think about that as well. So, and then there's a lot, but those are kind of the ones that I'm looking at. And then, oh yeah, I guess one of my ones down here is Helium. Helium's up 19%. Helium's just one that I've held for a long time. I don't have that much money. I think it's like, I don't really have that much money in it. And then Helium Mobile is the other one too. I don't have a ton of money, but it's still in there, but it's just lingering. What are your thoughts on Brazil XRP spot ETF? I think it's great, dude. I think any ETF is awesome, dude. 46 of the first 53 picks were Sanders doesn't get picked and it's a race thing. Is that what it is, F Joe? What school is about? Class are 70% trash, getting worse. Yeah, it kind of feels that way. What's your thoughts on? Oh, I read that one. What about ApeCoin? I just stay away from ApeCoin, bro. I don't touch that one. Sorry. There's a link in Austin's page and sync your YouTube to Discord. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to. There's a link in my description box. Appreciate you, Deb. Yeah, link in the description box. You can click there and then just connect your account and you'll be able to, and then select what channels you want to be in. Although I do not own any at the moment. Well, I still a little likes, so smash that like button. Appreciate you, XRP Bandit. Yeah, I could definitely pin the Discord in the chat here. Let me do that real quick for you here. Let me go back here. Let me go down here. Dude, they got like this ad in the way. There you go. All right. Let's see if this helps. Boom. All right. I pinned it in the chat there. So you should be able to click on it and go to it. So you should get your headphones from Austin first stream. 31-month gift. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, bro. Thank you so much, Seiko. One of my biggest bags. Nice. I didn't know that. Okay. You guys coming hot. Link was the first coin I bought. Link was? Okay. For anyone looking for a good project, Filecoin is great. Oh yeah, Filecoin's another old school one too, James. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one, dude. Is Filecoin's another one, man. If you think about it, Filecoin's, been a little up and down over the years. But Filecoin right here, I mean, they have a blockchain. People are building on it. Liquidity could come to it. It's one of the biggest storage file, crypto and just like storage filing out there. You can see all-time highs with 166. They've added more tokens to circulating supply since then. So the chances of it getting back up here is probably small. But I mean, like even where it's at right now, I mean, this thing even back in the bear market actually did well, pumped all the way back up to like $12. I think it was where it was. So I mean, this thing 5x'd here a couple months ago. Any word on Oregon attorney BS story? Yeah, I'm not even going to sweat the attorney thing. I can care less. This is actually pretty good right here. The U.S. Senator reintroduced the Pelosi Act to ban Congress from stock trading. That is hilarious. If they call it the Pelosi Act, I'm going to laugh, dude. There you go, Seiko. Where's your girl Pelosi at? Where's your girl Pelosi at? They got the Pelosi Act to ban Congress from stocks trading. I actually think they should do this. They should have done this a long time ago. You shouldn't be able to sway or have insider trading like they do, and they definitely have insider trading. For sure. Like if you want to talk about insider trading, knowing what's going to happen, just look at what the whole Pelosi thing has done. Like this is for sure. I hope this goes through. This is Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri introduces the Pelosi Act bill to ban Congress from trading stock. I actually am on board with that. So Austin, how's your Tesla stock doing? Dude, bro. Let's just look at Tesla. I'm so happy with my purchase on Tesla right now. You don't even know, dude. This thing went all the way up to freaking almost $300, dude. And I was like, we bought at 225. And like, I was sitting here going, dude, this thing was up like this weekend. It was like up almost, it was like right here on this weekend. It's up 25%, dude. So I was like, dude, I'm so happy for Tesla. I'm so happy for anyone that bought the Tesla. Again, I don't care if you have political beliefs on however you believe or Elon this. We're here to make money. And like, this is a money maker, dude. Like this has a chance to make really, really good money for a lot of people. And like, I'm just pumped that we're at where we're at with it. Like, and I hope it continues to drive upward. I hope we continue to see where it goes. They haven't sold any of their Bitcoin. They're going to continue to build, and that's all I care about. Flare VeChain. I'm not big into VeChain. I feel bad for Elon. I keep Nancy's name out of my mouth. Now these meat drapes is stupid, Joe. Austin, hard one to get a hold of, but if you're early to it, a great project is XRPH. Okay. Oh yeah, Tesla is way more than cars. It's a technology company, dude. They're building so much more than just cars. They got so much information, it's insane. No, they don't try to hide anything, Tim. They're like, oh yeah, Exxon Mobil is going to go build 65 refineries across the globe. Oh, we'll just go buy right now before they make that announcement. Yeah, Tesla's have been looking really, really good. Super excited about that. This right here, Coinbase to launch Bitcoin's yield fund on May 1st. I'm actually kind of excited about this, dude. 4 to 8% annualized returns. So again, what they're trying to do here is they're trying to actually thwart the banking system. I mean, because right now, if you put your money in the bank, you're going to get like 0.05% APY, right? I mean, it's like really minimal. I mean, you're making like, you put $10,000 in there over the year, you're probably making like close to maybe like $150 of your 10,000 sitting in a savings account. So what Coinbase is saying is, hey, dude, come over here and we'll offer you to buy Bitcoin, and then we'll offer you an 8% annualized return. You don't have to stake it. You don't have to do anything. The only thing is you have to put it on the exchange, which could be worrisome for some people. I mean, Coinbase right now is the largest exchange, one of the largest exchanges out there, and they're the number one exchange when it comes to holding assets for these ETF for the BlackRocks of the world. So the chances of them going under is probably pretty small. Still a risk, but again, if you're going to take the risk of staking away something, Bitcoin at 8% annualized return is not that bad. I mean, if you just want money to sit there, I mean, I don't know if I would do it, but if I had a lot of Bitcoin, I mean, I do got a Bitcoin that I could move over there, but I don't know if I want to put on the exchange to get the 8%. But some people don't care about that. So you can get XRP right on the Zoom wallet right now. Okay. Right on the Shaman wallet. XRPH. I got to look at that. Smart money buys on red 100%. Nvidia just needs time. Yeah, they're down like what 3% today. I saw Nvidia is down like 3%. Where's it at? Yeah, it's down 4%. This is off the China trade deals right now. Yeah, I saw that. I even went into Chronos for the first time. Went into Crypto.com for the first time and saw that they actually do have betting on sports, which is pretty wild. I was like, gosh, I could bet on sports right now, which is kind of crazy. Coinbase is doing it just for Bitcoin, not others. Like, yeah, it's just Bitcoin. I wish it was. I wish you could do the staking. Yeah, because Bitcoin doesn't allow staking. They don't allow you to stake on. Wow, I did not know Wisconsin did that. Yeah, that wouldn't be too. It wouldn't be too bad if you think about it like that, and the compounding interest on that for sure. Remember when like that was a big deal? Was the reflections? Remember when reflections were big? Yeah, reflections go up and up. Remember when reflections were such a big thing? Some people probably have no idea what reflections are, but remember when reflections were a really big deal for cryptos? We need to bring back reflections. Let's bring back reflection, guys. Who's going to be the first crypto to launch with reflections? I need it back in my life. I need some reflections and back in my life. Someone say steak, dude. I'll smash a steak right now. Was hoping you get Oz to scroll up and find my question if possible. Crunch concert. Which one? Where was it, dude? I'll see if I can scroll up and find it. There's a pretty decent amount of comments. Crap. Oh, right here. Oh, sorry. Well, thank you so much for the 199 super chat, dude. Dumb question. How critical is ETH's role in RLUSD? I don't think there's that much. I don't think it's critical at all for RLUSD. I mean, I think it would be nice if they created a bridge to allow you to convert ETH to RLUSD. I mean, that would be the great thing to do. And if RLUSD was to be able to be converted from any cryptocurrency into the RLUSD asset, it would be huge for crypto. So they'd have to probably find a way to bridge that. But all they got to do is just create a bridge to be able to convert ETH to the Ripple net, right? That's what they got to do. So I'm sure they're probably creating something. But as far as I think RLUSD is completely different than the ETH side, right? ETH is more attached to Tether, and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, thanks so much for the chat. Sorry, I missed your comment there, bro. Wait is over. Yeah, wait is over. Come on over. When did Coinbase start doing this for the Bitcoin? I think it's happening right now, bro. May 1st. Sorry, May 1st. May 1st they're going to be doing it. So you can see right now the markets are down today because Saylor decided to go out and buy another $1.4 billion in BTC. So the markets are down today because of this. I wanted to point that out. I forgot to point that out earlier today. That the reason why Bitcoin's down is because Michael Saylor decided to buy it at 95,000, and now it's back down to 93,000, going into 92,000 right now. So that's the big reason why I wanted to put that out there. So this now brings their average price down to a 68,459. That actually brings their price up. Didn't bring it down. It brought it up. 68,459. Gosh, dude, that's crazy to think. 68,000. They're way down here, dude. It's probably never gonna hit 68,000 again, dude. Shit, it might hit it in the next bull market or my next bear market. The Reflection Master are back online trying to steal more money under a new rug pull. Oh, really? Dude, that's crazy. My reflections were worth more than my initial investment, say Tom, at one point. Was it really, dude? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He always buys the top. He does always buy the top. It's nuts, dude. Is he? I don't know if he's losing 1 million a day. Oh, he always had the reflection chart. Thoughts on Crow? Anyone? Crow's a slow moving thing. They got to come out and they got to get their blockchain, more people to their blockchain. You know what I mean? Yeah, I got it, Tim Shea. I went back. It was a super chat. So, what do you think about Crow now that they burned the coins? Still think you could see a $1 Crow this year? I don't know, man. I think anytime they talk about burns, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Burns are not a sexy thing for me, dude. I'm not. Burns used to be like this big deal. Everyone was excited about burns. Anytime someone brings burns to me, it gives me that meme coin vibe. And majority they're not burning on-chain tokens. They're burning off-chain tokens. So, it's not that big of a deal if I'm being honest with you guys. And you can see right here that even if they were to burn, like it obviously went up to 9 cents, but fell back down. But I mean, I don't know, dude. Yeah, they got 26.5 billion in circulation out of 1 billion. Yeah, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I really don't know. Sold my Crow as well. Yeah, I sold all my Crow too. I did make 3K on reflections. That's not that bad, dude. That's a lot of money. You made $3,000 on reflections, bro. That's pretty cool. I mean, the reflection thing is kind of like, funny. It's funny looking back. I'm surprised they haven't done reflections for people. Like that was actually like a big selling point for a lot of people was reflections, dude. And it was that whole like compounding interest that F Joe said. It had people on board for the people would actually see their price go up, in the day. Crow's dead. You'll be lucky to see 70 cents again. You think so, Dizzy Gang? I don't own any Crow. I'm not going to dog Crow. I think they have a blockchain. They went out there, they've done their thing. I mean, they've spent a lot of money on marketing. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Happy Monday. You too, buddy. Yeah, Safe Moon. Safe Moon kind of started that whole deal, you know what I mean? What's with the ETS on the 30th, Austin? I don't really know yet. Yeah. No, you're right. Looking back at Saitama, like we could say whatever we want, but at that time, dude, it was kind of wild. That was a wild time, bro. Wild time. I mean, it went up to $7 billion, right? That's a $7 billion cryptocurrency rug. It was legendary. Yeah, cashing 3 trillion. Saitama was nice. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty wild when you look back at it. Yeah, I'm waiting for that next one, dude. Then there's gonna be another one comes out. There's gonna be another one of those. I'm waiting for the reflections. No tax, and just reflections, dude. Reflections go up and up. Let's go back here. I want to look at so yeah, XRP's pricing looking pretty good again. This is on the weekly, this is on the daily chart right here. XRP chart still looking really good, looking really bullish. You can see right here, 3 days on an upward trend. The weekly chart's looking good too. 3 weeks or 2 weeks in the green right now. People are saying, okay, well, this could come back down and hit a certain level. It definitely is over purchase. It's hovering around this 80 marker, bouncing off of it. So it could come back down to probably like this. You see right here on the day chart, it could come back down to like this 215 marker before making the next leg up. But you want to see this kind of be built out right here. We're starting to build back out. So what we need is to actually get right above this 250, just about 250, 260 range right here is kind of where we need to get. Is this next like line up here? This is 255. We need to definitely get above that to be able to create a lower, basically it's going to be like a lower high, and then we continue to build back out. So I'm kind of excited to sort of see where that goes. H bar is doing the same thing. We're starting to build out of this bottom right here. And again, I'm hoping that this is the bottom. We had this little death cross right here on the one chart where the 50-day went over the 200, and now we're starting to build back out. So that's kind of what I wanted to see here, at least on the day chart. Weekly chart's still looking pretty good as well. You can see right here, the weekly chart still building out, almost 4 weeks in the green right here for H bar. That's pretty good. 4 weeks, almost a whole month for H bar. It might be slow climbing, but it's done well over a 4-week span. So Solar always buys in the green. Oh, Sailor. Yeah, Sailor always buys in the green. Reflections were amazing. It was the equivalent of Starbucks points back when America was great. You know, it's funny, man. I read an article about the geniusness that went into Starbucks, and it actually makes sense when you think about how, like, just think of how big of a whoever thought of it's genius. So, what you're doing with the Starbucks card is you put money on your Starbucks card to then get points, right? So, a lot of people will pay with their Starbucks card. Like, I pay with the Starbucks card. Like, I'll put money on the card, and then I scan it on. I put upload $25 onto my nice little Starbucks card, and I'll scan it, and it holds $19 there, $10 here, $5, whatever it is. What they did is they basically created a $1 billion business where people were just upload cash onto these cards, which goes into basically a Starbucks account, and Starbucks is actually able to then use that money just like any other bank would. And money's free flowing. Obviously, money gets uploaded. They could choose to be spent. Cents goes over here. A cent goes over here. Next thing you know, you're building up all this money from all these gift cards and everything like that that's being purchased out there, and then they have this free capital. And so what they've done is they've created this capital free, like they almost like how Costco, people pay cash for their Costco card. And now they have this free capital of just cash that's flowing in. And that's exactly what Starbucks did. And it's like, I read an article about it, and it was just like, that is such a genius move. So kudos to, like, shout out to Starbucks for coming to the times and actually doing that. Austin, you know anything about the Britney Shills and XRP claim? I do not know anything about that. Must have been CZ Binance who thought of it. Yeah, they invested in me. That's what I'm saying. Like, Starbucks is pretty, like, they're it's pretty legit what they tapped into. Flair will buy the rumor sell the news event. I'm afraid dumping tomorrow, but still a good project. I'm with you, dude. I think Flair's a good project. Yeah. But yeah, you'll see. We'll have to see what happens. Has anyone ever thought that if we have a global power outage, there our digital assets would be? Yeah, I think about it all the time, bro. I think about it all the time. Yeah, I saw that power outages in France. I thought that they're not the only place with the power outages. France just joined Spain and Portugal. Yeah, I heard that's what it was, Spain and Portugal. So it looks like there's a global power outage. We'd have bigger problems than our crypto set. That is true. You'd have no plane. You'd have the global power outage would be rough. That's why you should always keep a gas vehicle. The thing I don't understand is reward cards that you get points but don't load any money on it. I don't understand is reward cards that you get points but you don't load any money on. Yeah, you're talking like a Safeway or a Vons or a Fred Meyer's kind of card. I have a Delaney coffee maker, no Starbucks taste. You think so? I think so. For some reason I really like Starbucks. I did not know that. I did not know that Coinbase is integrating with TradingView. That's actually pretty nice. That'll make it easier to do some trades. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's go back to Asia. But again, like this chart right here, XRP's chart, it just looks so good, dude. Still, anyone dogging XRP, poof. I drink gas station coffee, dude. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't drink that Folgers. I live in Europe. Don't forget, Austin. I do. Oh, that's true. Yeah. You live in Europe. That's right. We have real coffee. That's true. You do probably have real coffee. I'm surprised you don't drink tea. Surprised you don't drink tea and those bitter biscuits. The biscuits that just get everywhere. What made XRP shoot up today? Just the whole ETF discussions. Kitties only drink organic coffee. Can't believe XRP ETFs, not the talk. We got the one ETF coming in, right? That one that was discussed. I retweeted out this weekend. You can go back and look at it. I retweeted the talk of the town here. Michael Saylor says, when the banks embrace Bitcoin, everyone will want to buy it. No one will need to sell it, and you won't be able to afford it. Dude, Michael, I actually believe this, dude. I don't know. Do you guys believe that? I kind of believe it. Maybe I'm naive, but I kind of believe it, dude. That's where we're gonna be. Oh yeah, I was gonna share this with you guys, dude. So the number of unsold completed single-family homes jumped 31,000 over the. Actually, this is the other one I was gonna share here. I totally forgot to do this. Was U.S. existing home sales fell by 5.9 month over month. Says this marked as the largest monthly decline since November 2022. You can see right here, when we get to the bottom of these things, we have pretty good bounce back. So what this means is the housing market's been frozen, which we all know, and it's because of interest rates. Which again, I believe that the May is going to have an interest. We're going to have an interest rate tick. We're gonna raise it. We're gonna lower interest rates coming in starting in May, dude. It's going to happen, and it's because of this right here. The housing markets and stuff like this have gone stale, have frozen, and they're at almost an all-time low. And so this is something to watch for. And I didn't buy because of the rates. Yeah, exactly. We need the rates to come down to be able to buy. Panera was actually named St. Louis's bread company. Really? Interesting. No, oh, really? Prices still rising, no inventory? I did not know that. If Starbucks improves their simple syrup and stops spraying their beans with pesticides, I'd drink it. Are they spraying with? Well, I'm screwed, dude. Well, they came out. Sorry, I was going back to what I said. So I reposted yes, it was earlier yesterday, I think, right here, that the SEC has approved a public launch date of April 30th for the ProShares Trust XRP. So this is actually really good right now to sort of see this. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's pretty good. So April 30th, we'll see. Probably the first XRP ETF get launched, which will be pretty badass, right? Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse believes XRP will replace the outdated Swift systems. I told you they were going to compete with Swift. They weren't actually trying to partnering with them. So big difference right here. You got HBAR trying to partner with Swift. You got basically XRP trying to become the competitor to Swift. And I've always said that they would be a competitor to Swift. And I think he just solidified this. Let's actually take a look. I don't know if you. Let's take a listen here real quick. Sorry, let me present. Sometimes you got to find it. It's like super hard to find. There we go. All right. Let's listen to good old Brad Garlinghouse here. See what he has to say. All right.
That innovation. Markets like Japan, I think, are still unlocking. The market opportunity here is massive. You have trillions of dollars flowing cross-border globally. It's still largely dominated by the SWIFT network, if you will. And that's architecture. That's a technology architecture that's developed 50 years ago. There's an opportunity to modernize. That takes time, particularly when you have a government in the U.S. kind of combating that innovation. But that's changing now. The Trump effect, if you will, is profound. You're seeing that in asset prices, but you're also going to see that in the adoption of these technologies.
Yeah, and I think so. When you're looking at the growth story then of Ripple, does it still come from overseas? Or are you expecting a change in terms of domestic interest in Ripple?
Well, we're definitely already seeing a change in the domestic interest. These 6 weeks after President Trump was elected, we signed more deals in the United States than we had in the previous 6 months. Jeez. So these are very innovative technologies. I think they're going to play out over 10, even 20 years in terms of how they integrate and rewire the financial infrastructure of the United States. That's across payments. That's across even the settlement of maybe real estate transactions, securities transactions. So I think we're going to see this play out over a long arc. But in the United States is finally unlocked. And I think people are underestimating how big that change is. And you'll see that continue to play out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be interested to sort of see. I mean, I think they're going to be a competitor to Swift. And like I said, they're going to have to embrace new technologies. The Swift system is way outside the, 30-year-old technology, and they're going to have to revamp it. So it'll be interesting to sort of see how that plays out. But I would agree with what Joe said here. A lot of them will probably use Ripple before they use XRP. Hopefully, the Ripple net will be able to rise XRP through the use of RLUSD and XRP to make those transactions happen. That's kind of where my hope is at. But again, teach our own on that. So let me. How about the Pure Wallet? Dude, Pure Wallet's looking great, dude. I'm so happy for Pure Wallet, bro. I think that they've done a lot to get where they're at. I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm pretty pumped about the Bitcoin conference coming up here. If you guys don't know, Bitcoin conference is coming up here at the end of May. I'll be there and support Pure Wallet, and very, very excited for that event. Yeah. But yeah, do you mean people will use the XRP ledger? Yeah. The institutions will use the ledger, right? The XRP ledger, which is the blockchain. So yeah. Yeah, people will use Ripple. Ripple will use XRP to move money. That's how I look at it the same way, F. Joe. People shouldn't use XRP ledgers. Banks should. Yeah, you're right. I would agree with that. The banks are the ones that we want. The institutions are the ones that we want. B3 is about to pump. What is Pure Wallet? dark helmet coming in. Yeah, they dark helmet. Pure Wallet's actually looking really good, dude. I don't even know where my phone's at, dude. Did someone steal my phone? I do have my phone. There it is. Yeah, Pure Wallet's looking really good right now. Like, I'm happy with where it's at. You can actually make offline transactions now. I know in the UK you probably can't right now. So you think rate cuts will happen this week? Yeah, I think rate cuts are coming down, dude. My bet is a rate cut. Austin, when do you think XRP will get the spot ETF? Well, it's coming out. They said April 30th. So for that one, at least. Right here. We'll see if this holds true right here. U.S. I don't know if this actually is coming from Cointelegraph right here, that a registered statement for ProShares Trust going to be launching on April 30th, 2025, approximation date for XRP. So we'll see. When I set up your wallet, it defaults to Euro. Is that normal, or do I do something wrong to set it up? Are you where are you located, Michael? Are you in Europe, or are you in yeah, you probably when you first clicked on it and you created it, you probably clicked that you were like in Europe versus like the United States. Oh yeah, I don't know about spot, dude. Yeah. Why didn't you go to Dubai? Dubai is coming. Well, I'll be in Dubai at the end of the year. They're going to have another blockchain event out there for the Pure Chain. Pure Chain is launching, as you guys know, which is going to be the blockchain for the Pure Wallet. That launches at the end of the year here, and they're going to be at Crypto for Life over there in Dubai, one of the largest crypto conventions in Dubai this year, in October, and they're going to be unveiling the blockchain over there, which will be a gasless zero. There'll be no gas, and there'll be offline transactions on the Pure Chain. So yeah, it'll be a big chain. You can build on it. You can do everything that everything ETH can do. All that kind of stuff will be on the chain. It'll be mineable crypto. It's gonna be a big one out there. Where do you guys think ETC can reach? ETC? Are you talking about Ethereum Classic? I think Ethereum Classic is going to do good. April 30th is the futures 2x short. Are you going to short it? All right. You going to start shorting it? Gasless, says Taco Bell. So, blue all the way. Can you explain XRP's two different ledgers? It's going to be interesting. I mean, you got to think. So, I mean, XRP, when you say two different ledgers, what do you mean two different ledgers? When you say two different ledgers, what's to stop the chain getting spam with transactions if it's gasless? I think that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, Kev. About the blockchain, dude. I hit my head so hard today. I was putting up a tent, dude. You can see a bump. I got a bump right there, man. Freaking ran into I was trying to put the tent up, dude, and I freaking ran into the side of the tent. Freaking almost knocked me out. If it doesn't quite work that way for Starbucks, they have to keep the cash as restricted since they are corresponding liability on the balance sheet until the cards are used. I thought I read that that's Rooster Smith. I thought that was kind of how I read that they actually had it. One thing about the Pure Wallet is an Ethereum base. Well, they're trying to make it Ethereum base for the pre-sale, but they're going to actually have, they have a lot more. The new update has a lot more cryptos on there. So that wallet is eventually going to be added where you're going to be able to have, Solana and XRP. XRP's on there, and you're going to have Bitcoin, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, eventually it's going to come. You're camping in your backyard. No, I was camping. We were at a soccer tournament all weekend. So yeah, like I said, my daughters played in a soccer tournament this weekend. They played at the Washington Cup, which is one of the number one tournaments in the state of Washington for soccer. Everyone, across the state comes to the tournament, and they play, right? See who's the best. And my daughters played on the U9 G6, for the girls under 2016, the U9 for their Premier League, the Gold Division. and they took first. They ended up beating a really, really good team, part of the Surfs network, and they ended up beating them. And yeah, it was just a really, really good weekend. They worked their butts off. They came out with battle wounds, man, turf burns. My daughters went full ham and did really, really well. They played on the same team. And my one daughter who's really, really good, she did fantastic. My other daughter who's like just plays for fun, dude, she showed up and showed out, dude. Like I was blown away by her. They're both, if they stick to it, dude, they're gonna go somewhere in soccer for sure. They have that drive. So I'm super excited for this weekend, man. Proud father. Couldn't say more, dude. Yeah, I will. Yeah, they got a nice little. They got their gold. They fought for the gold, man. Oh, the pub. Oh, okay. I thought I was confused. I thought you were talking. I didn't know what you were referring to. Texas made, Randy. I was like, man, I don't know how they're gonna work that out. I'm gonna be honest with you, Randy. I don't know how they're gonna work that out for the private and the banking, because I think that the whole goal of a blockchain is to keep it public, right? And that's the whole point of decentralization. So if you start making a private one, I don't know, maybe you have to for banking situations. Yeah, where's the gold medal? Yeah, they got it. They got that gold medal, man. It's like it's gold. It's nice, but yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a good day. It was a good weekend. But that's where I was putting up a tent. Freaking racked my head. But all right, guys. With all that, I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go for a nice little walk, get my head straight, hang out. Lacrosse is badass too. My daughter teaches that. Oh, really? That's badass. I don't think I've seen a girls lacrosse team. Oh, here, a fan just showed me the medal. Yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. You see right there. There's their gold medal, man. Washington Cup 2024-25, and then the back says champions. Pretty legit, man. Pretty legit. You know, they came in hot right here. Look at that. Look at that, dude. They came in pretty hot right there. Boom. Look at that. Bam. Washington Cup champs. So I had to flex on you guys. You guys are my family. So I have to share that with you guys and say how excited I was. So appreciate you guys, all your love and support, always showing up, showing out. Couldn't be more appreciative of it. And I just want to say thank you. And hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll be back on here, same time, same place tomorrow. So yeah, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And with all that said, love you guys. We're out. Peace out, everyone.